Hi guys. So I'm reading this book about nutrition. It's very scientific, and it states a lot of studies just going throughout different macronutrients at the moment. We've done our carbs, we've done our fats, and we're on to protein. Surprise, surprise, we're going to talk about protein. Now they've already stated here that vegetarians need to be really careful about combining the right types of protein because a lot of plant proteins are apparently incomplete, and they define incomplete as something that is either missing or lacking in a certain essential amino acid, any essential amino acid. Now, I don't know of any other protein source other than gelatin, which is an animal-based protein, that is actually an incomplete protein. Every other protein that I know of in a food, animal or plant, is a complete protein in that if you eat enough of it, you'll get your daily values. Now, what does enough mean? That's where it comes into question. So, if you eat a food that is low in protein, let's say white sugar or something like that, or I think it's millet. Millet is a particularly low protein grain, and if you were to eat 2,000 calories of millet, you would be lacking in, what is it? It might be leucine. Okay, but for every other grain, fruit and veg, you're pretty much fine eating 2,000 calories or whatever your daily requirement is. For me, maybe 3,000. And that's what a complete protein is. If you can just eat it and eat your calories, per day, and you're getting enough of each essential amino acid and everything else you need, then that's cool. Now, we're on to milk protein here, and they say casein is 80% of the milk protein, and whey is 20%. They say 1 cup of milk provides about 8 grams of total protein with a lifetime of suffering, compared to human protein, which is 70% whey and 30% casein. So, heads up there, casein is very high in milk products. And I think Dr. Colin Campbell's studies, I think they were in the 70s or 80s, they were done in animals, poor mice, showed that the more protein he fed the mice, in particular this casein protein, that could switch on and switch off cancer. When he fed it high, it switched it on, 20%, and when he switched it back to a lower percentage, I think it was 5 or 10, then the cancer growth regressed somewhat, and he could do that throughout their lifespan. So animal studies, I don't agree with them. I don't think we should do them. It's unethical. Just because you're testing on another animal to save a human's life, it's classic sort of speciesism, I guess. But if they've been done in the past, you may as well use the data if it's already been done in the past, and still you can speak out about it. So, what they were saying here is that... What were we getting onto? Well, I lost my train of thought. They were talking about whey proteins and isolates, concentrates, and hydrolysates. So a concentrate is just anything between 25 and 89% protein, and you get them in the powders quite often. Slightly more expensive are the whey protein isolates, which are more than 90% protein, less fat and lactose. So probably slightly easier to digest because humans aren't really very good at digesting lactose. Most of us are lactose intolerant, and all of us are lactose intolerant to some extent. As the protein level in whey increases, the amount of fat and lactose decrease. Whey protein hydrolysates are made from whey protein concentrate or isolate. Specifically, when whey protein these hydrolysates are enzymatically pre-digested, which allows the amino acids to be absorbed by the body more rapidly than intact proteins are. That's the sentence that just sort of made me want to rant about this a bit. It's bullshit. They're pre-digesting these supplements and formulas so that humans can better deal with the shit that we're putting in our bodies. If you're drinking milk protein, you're drinking rape milk. You're drinking rape juice. You're drinking pus that's in the milk. It's absolute shit. If you're a baby human, then perhaps you should drink your mother's breast milk or a formula that doesn't have whey in it. Pretty hard to find these days. A wet nurse is better. If you can't find a wet nurse, there are other formulas you can use. When it comes to drinking the milk of another species, why would you do it? Because you got an addiction to it? Because of the casomorphins found in cheese that have very addictive properties? Don't think of yourself. Think of the consequences. Go vegan.